Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in everyone that you can. Just do out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. And it's not funny, bro, but it's like damn, like I don't know. I really don't understand. The Celtics lose to the Raptors. I don't even know what the final score was, but it things ain't going good in Beantown right now. I think conversations need to be had. I am one of the more positive Celtics YouTube. I guess like I don't like to. It's not that I don't like to critique. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to criticize because I am very critical where criticism is due. You know what I'm saying? But like I've tried to wait it out. I've tried to wait until I got a good sample size and players was healthy, and there are still some valid excuses that you can use of the guys not just not having enough time to gel with each other, you know what I'm saying, and it's things of that nature. But in a 14 game stretch, we are 7-7. This is not the team we know, and I think 14 games is enough. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some conversations on this channel. I'm gonna strip this thing from the top, and I'm gonna go all the way down to the bottom, bro. And it, like, this game, I believe the Celtics failed to score 100 points. Yeah, the final score was 110-97. The offense hasn't looked good, the defense hasn't looked good, and there are stretches where I think specifically in his game they were bad. I'm not saying these two things are separate. They were horrible in defense, and the rims hated us, right? You can't do both. We've been on a struggle bus for like shooting threes for at least 10 games. It's starting to creep into my head that it's just shooting regression. Like, we got the greatest corner 3-point shooter season from Drew Holiday last season. Did I think that was gonna happen again? I didn't think about it. Like, we were just riding high, and I didn't think about Drew Holiday not being that guy again. And then of course like Derek White, I don't know what's going on. Like, this is my king, our glorious king, Derek White. He can't throw rock in the ocean. He was what, a -20 or some shit like that, and he dead ass got benched. He real shit got benched. And Pritchard was Pritchard was probably the best player. I think KP held that crown for a little bit, but then in the second half he kind of just, I don't know, but it's weird, dog. It's really weird. And the defense I seen so many people open in this game, bro, like it didn't make no sense. I seen so many Raptors open and it didn't make sense. And the thing is, bro, the Celtics still had a chance to win because the Raptors just don't have that much talent. They were within striking distance the entire game, and they just couldn't get it done. And then I took a look at some lineups, right? I know for a fact our worst lineup was the starting five. So the starting lineup: Porzingis, Tatum, Holiday, Brown, Derek White. -12, sorry. The Raptors starting five was a +13. Now, for some reason, our starting lineup only played 8 minutes and 19 seconds together. Dog, these motherfuckers had a 182.4 defensive rating. Yo, I've never seen a defensive rating that high. Holy shit. Our best lineup was Pritchard, Porzingis, Tatum, Drew, and Derek White. You took Derek White off of the starting lineup and they were +8. He just had a bad game. I mean, he's having a bad stretch. The worst Raptors lineup was RJ, Jakob, Scotty, Grady, and Ochai. But Pritchard, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. He was a +6 on the night. He came to play. The Raptors were attacking him. On the defensive side, the Raptors have a pretty big team across the board, except for Davion Mitchell. Well, their point guards are small, Davion Mitchell and Jamal Shea, but they're both guys who really hustle. They slide their feet. They're hard on those players. So even if you got them on a switch on the offensive side, they're gonna fight like hell, and that's gonna be a tough thing to score on. But Pritchard, I felt like he was fine. He was 7'11" from the field. Porzingis, I felt like was good in the first half. He had 13 points. He's been high from 3 lately, but in the second half he kind of faded away a little bit. And I don't know if that's Porzingis fading away or the team they iced. I watched the game, but I haven't understood the game yet. I haven't analyzed it, so it's I don't know if they ice Porzingis out, not on purpose, but I don't know if he just stopped getting the ball. I know in the first half, like, he was getting the ball, and on defense, he was covering for a lot of mistakes. Like, the team, they're not communicating at all. They're just giving up open layups on switches. There was a play where Pritchard was mismatched on somebody on the post. I believe it was Scotty Barnes, and he scram switched, right? KP took him out, like, he ran out, and nobody communicated anything. There was no, hey, Pritchard, get him. He just is running into no man's land off of the scram switch, and we give up a layup. So Pritchard, Porzingis, Tatum had a solid all-around game, but he shot 5 for 15. Why is he shooting 15 shots? I have no idea. I am not faulting Joe Mazzulla for my best player shooting under 20 shots. Yes, he can call more sets for Jason Tatum, or Jason Tatum can just go get the basketball and do a pick and roll. I'm not blaming Joe Mazzulla for that. Yes, he could play a percentage in that, but him only shooting 15 shots, I'm not blaming anybody for that but Jason Tatum. Drew Holiday, I feel like was pretty solid in this game. I think defensively, everybody's just not themselves. Drew being the guy that we look at as probably our best defender, especially on the perimeter. Well, I think Tatum's our best all-around defender, but Drew is a guy that, you know, he has the reputation, as I would say. So nobody was great defense. Well, Horford had like 4 blocks. So let me see how many blocks Horford had. Yeah, Horford had 4 blocks. But even then, he wasn't great. He was a net positive, so that's something to start with. But yeah, it was just weird. I felt like Kornet was cool in his minutes. Yeah, he was a +7 in his minutes. Holy shit. I just looked at the player under Luke Kornet, and it says -23. If I talk about this, y'all gonna call me a hater, bro. Fuck it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaylen Brown reeked of stench in this game. He reeked because, like, he's fool. I don't even know what it is for real. Because, okay, well, I know what it is. He's just less efficient than he has always been. He's been a guy that has always been an efficient, tough shot maker. Jaylen Brown, we all know him to take some incredibly tough shots, but he has the athleticism, he has the shot making ability, and he has the skill to do those. And he used to do it at a high level, especially in the mid-range area. He used to really be able to be efficient taking the toughest of shots, especially in the mid-range area. I was watching First to the Floor before I hopped on here. Shout out to y'all. Jaylen Brown is shooting 31% from the mid-range. When have we known him to do anything like that? I'm appalled. I'm speechless, like, because when you talk about Tatum and Brown, just from a strictly scoring standpoint, Brown has always been the more efficient scorer. Now, if you want to say that's because he takes less shots, so be it. I don't care. But Brown has always been the more deliberate and efficient scorer, which means Tatum might dance with you a lot of the times. He gonna take that pull-up 3. He gonna make it look sexy. Brown is gonna dunk your motherfucking ass. Tatum can dunk with people too. I'm not saying that. But Brown is more brute force and athleticism and straight to the point. Tatum gonna make it look sexy, you know what I'm saying? Brown, the efficiency isn't with Brown this season. I don't know. But in this game, he's had a couple games like this where it looks like 2023 Heat ECF or 2022. It was ECF against the Heat where he just kept driving it into help with no plan and turning it over. There was a play where I believe it was late in the fourth quarter. The Celtics are trying to make a comeback, trying to do something. The Celtics were off at the free throw line, right? That was something else. They couldn't shoot anything. I think Toronto had just scored. Jaylen Brown gets the basketball, and I knew he was about to do this. I can just see it in his movements, bro. I knew he was gonna do it. He's like on the right wing, right? And it was so funny because I knew he was gonna do it, bro. He drives to the help defender. He crosses over, drives to the help defender. To nobody's surprise, the help defender digs at him, knocks the ball loose, but he gets bailed out. They call a foul for him. Goes to the line, and the first free throw, Al Horford should have hit one of these on him, bro. It was like, son, like, I don't get it. I don't like his decision making has been subpar to say the least for these last couple of games for the Celtics. But it's not just him. Him and Derek White have shared a regression in these last couple of games, and again, they're 7-7 in their last 14 games. So this is not just one person, and it's not just one thing. They haven't been shooting good from 3. Some of those nights they haven't moved the ball. The thing is, to me, is pressure, right? So on the offensive side, pressure is driving and kicking, generating good threes, putting pressure on the defense, deliberately attacking mismatches with intention, right? When you get those mismatches, go, right? And then the spacing around them is very important. On defense, the Celtics haven't, I don't remember the last time somebody, maybe other than Payton Pritchard, picked somebody up at half court or further down the court. We don't put pressure on anybody anymore. You remember in the finals, of course, a game against the Toronto Raptors in January is not the finals. But when the Celtics were serious defensively, is Jaylen Brown on whoever the best player is. I'm picking you up 94 feet. You're not touching the ball sometimes. I'm making everything hard for you. Where is that at? And I'm not just talking about Jaylen Brown. I'm talking about the philosophy of the team. When Jaylen Brown does that, it causes turnovers. It sets a tone. There has not been a defensive tone in the last 3 weeks. It just hasn't been. So we need to talk. I'm gonna talk to y'all. I'll be dropping some videos tomorrow. Past that, trades. I've seen a lot of Walker Kessler stuff. Like, I like Walker Kessler. I just don't think that the Jazz, I don't think he's attainable. One thing I can say is that the Celtics are one of the few real contending teams that have control of their picks. You see a team like the Bucks, teams like Phoenix. Well, I won't call them a real contender, but like teams that, you know, have strived to contend for these last couple of years. Some of them don't have access to their picks. The Celtics don't give up first round picks that often, right? We still have our pick this year, our first round pick this year. Would the Jazz budge at a first round pick for Kessler? I don't think they do. I think he's more valuable than just a first round pick. And the player we're giving them is not going to hold any value. I like Jaden Springer, but around the league, they're not just going to give Jaden Springer somebody and they're going to give you a good player back. Now, unless it's like an older guy. This is where the difference is. If I'm giving the Pelicans Jaden Springer and some seconds for Javonte Green, that's different. He's an older player. He's on a 1-year deal. If I'm giving the Chicago Bulls Jaden Springer for Torrey Craig, right? That's something different. He's an older player on a small contract. They trying to get young, stuff like that. They trying to trade Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic and all those guys. The Jazz, especially Danny Ainge, why does he want Jaden Springer for a young center that is a great shot blocker and a great rebounder? 2, I don't even think the Celtics want Walker Kessler. When I say want, of course you will want to have him on your team. But are you willing to give up the assets that is required to get a Walker Kessler? With the centers that they have on the roster, I don't think they will. You have 4 centers that are usable. Can they be upgraded? Yes. But I don't think you empower every single center on your roster and then go trade for somebody, especially without giving up a center. You could probably say, oh, trade Cater, trade Luke. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't bet on Walker Kessler. I've been seeing him talked about so much. I just don't think it's realistic. I like the player. I don't think it's realistic. Any trade that the Celtics do is not going to be a Walker Kessler type player. That's just me. It's going to be a Javonte Green, a Torrey Craig. Players that can't help, but a young player on his rookie contract that was just a first round pick that is good. Come on now, we gotta slow our roll a little bit. It has to be the players that are already playing. They have to play better. We started off 21-5, so it's like something works. We know that this thing works. We just won a championship with it. We were just 21-5 in our first 26 games. We just have to harness whatever that was and keep doing it. Now again, we gotta hit shots. But it's not that simple. You know what I'm saying? That obviously helps and that bails us out so many times if we're not serious on defense for a night. That's fine, but we need to do better. The entire team needs to do better. Joe Mazzulla has to do better. The rotations have to be better. The Celtics as a whole just have to be better. But that is a video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in there once you can. I will see you guys in the next video, but this is Nick. Peace.